Welcome to the Motors TV Ultimate Karting Challenge, the series where the championship leader always starts last. This year we've been provided with some very exciting racing, none more so than the 8 to 12-year-olds in the cadet class.
Yes indeed, in round one there was 5 karts battling to the line, a fantastic race, and that continued throughout the season to this last round where we have 3 drivers separated by just 6 points. Danny Sweeney heads that championship and Alan talked to him earlier in the week.
Danny, you're the championship leader after the first round of the Ultimate Karting Challenge this season, but you lost the championship lead at round 2 when you had a bit of an incident. It took you until round 6 to get the championship lead back. You lost it at round 7, you've got it back after round 8, you've got a 4-point lead now going into the final round, but what do you think the key is going to be to holding on to that championship lead?
Yeah, it's just going to be definitely finishing, but finishing within 4 points of Ryan and Luke.
Okay, looking back on round 8, the last round, Luke of course had all sorts of problems as we know and just ended up crawling across the line, but you yourself had a big problem almost coming out of the final turn with Liam Kelly. You had contact with Liam, he spun off, you fortunately carried on, but how did you see that incident?
Well, it was just that I was going down the inside of Liam and he just clipped my back wheel and I just kept a cool head and went for the flag really.
Looking at the championship this season, it's been the first time we've ever seen a reverse grid. It's the first time we've used that concept in karting. Championship leaders always starting last. You've had to do that a couple of times this season already. You're going to have to do it again at the final round being championship leader. How have you enjoyed that challenge?
Yeah, it's just been really good the whole season. Me and my family have just enjoyed it thoroughly, had its highs and lows, ups and downs. It's just been a fantastic concept into karting really.
And looking forward to next season, 2007, a national championship next year, 5 different circuits around the UK. What difference do you think that is going to make to the championship?
Well, it's definitely going to be because there's a few new faces in it next year and local track knowledge really. We've been to a few tracks and so it's just going to be a new learning curve for everyone really, and it's just going to be fantastic, I can tell.
Take that interview earlier in the week. Danny Sweeney was very cool then. He's very nervous this morning. Alex Alban, Honda Cadet British Champion on pole. Josh White on P2 and James Appleton on 3, last month's winner. Miles Hart's on 4, then comes Jay Goodwin on P5. Starting on 6 is Ryan Morgan. Then Mark Wakefield off P7. Josh Fry back in the championship goes off P8. Then comes Connor Savage P9 and Scott Rickson on 10. Abigail Gerry, former British Championship winner earlier in the season, she goes off 11. Pac-Man goes off 12. Henry Hunter off 13. Then Jordan Horton off 15 is Bradley Ord. Then Jacob Huntston goes off P16. David McNichol comes next. Then Joe Byrne up from the south of the country off 18. P19 Conor Llewellyn. Luke Hughes is 3rd in the championship. Ryan Burns is 2nd in the championship, and the championship leader is Danny Sweeney. If your name is Hughes, Sweeney or Burns, take some heart tablets. I think you may need them. We're off and running through the line. Hughes has got to get a cracking start. Sweeney's got to try and go with him. Hughes makes up 4 round the outside. Make that 5. Make that 6 down the outside. Make that 7 as he goes past number 10 as well. He's made up 7 places. Joe Burns made up 8 places minimum going through those 2 turns as well. Make that 9 places. They come through the right-hander at Dunlop. Byrne, number 5, you can see him 2 places in front of Hughes. So Hughes has made up 7. Make that 8 through the right-hander. And Byrne has made up now 10 places on the first lap already, and Sweeney is further back off Hughes. He's got 2 or 3 karts between himself and Hughes. Burns has not had a great start, kart 2 there. Hughes has lost a place to Gerry through the left-hander and onto Rogerson's. That is Joe Byrne, kart number 5. He's up to 6 places, starting 18th. He's made up 12 places on the first lap alone. Fantastic start by Byrne. Hughes there, kart 3's dropped a place behind Gerry. They look to make that up, coming down the straight as they go across the start-finish line. Sweeney there, kart number 1, championship leader. He's got 3 places to make up to get back to Hughes, and Hughes makes the place up on Gerry through the right-hander through turn 1. This race promised much before it started, and it's delivering already. We're only just over a lap in. Hughes has got 5 karts between himself and the championship leader, and that means he's just 1 point off the championship lead as things stand on the track at the moment, but it's still early doors. Sam's got an interested spectator. Sam?
Alan, I'm with Joe Byrne's dad. Joe's doing fantastically well, and I also noticed that he's got himself a new sponsor.
Yeah, he's sponsored by Keynsham Taekwondo, and he's come all the way up here this weekend to see him race. So it's quite good. He's done quite well on the first lap there. He looked like he gained about 10 positions.
Yeah, it did, and it's definitely a good race for sponsors to come and watch, isn't it?
Yeah, need more money then, don't we?
Get yourself another one.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We'll see what happens.
As we rejoin it, Hughes is up to 5th place and Sweeney further back. He still leads the championship currently. Sweeney on 2.48. Hughes currently now on 2.46. Byrne back there on 2.37. Hughes has made another place on Morgan going through the left-hander the first part of Luna, so he's 1 point closer to Sweeney. 2.48 to Food, 2.47 as things stand. What an exciting race this promised to be. Oh, Sweeney's off! Sweeney, the championship leader, has run off the track going up the straight. Oh, that's amazing stuff. He's running to the back of Josh Fry. I don't know whether Fry had some sort of problem that caused Sweeney to run into the back of him, but he's lost 3, 4, 5, 6 carts, 6 places. He makes 1 back on Fry, so he's lost 5 places in that 1 move alone, and that has given Luke Hughes a 4-point championship lead. As things stand, he goes up the inside of Joe Byrne as well, and that gives him an extra point now, so he should move on to 2.48. 33 is Josh White, 10 Henry Hunter, 15 was Richardson, 6 McNichol, and came Jordan Horton and Connor Savage, 9 and 16. That's 25 Ryan Morgan. He's closely pursued there by cart number 30. That's Miles Hart. Hart's had a good run last month. 13 Gary, former British Championship winner earlier in the season, just deposed there by Henry Hunter, who slides up the inside. These are the leaders. It's Alex Alban, Honda Cadet British champion this season. He was runner-up in the W60 Championship as well. He's been closely pursued there by James Appleton. Appleton won by 6 seconds last month. No such luck this time, but there's Luke Hughes, started down there in 20th place, up to 30. He's made up 17 places in the race so far. You're right, Ben, but don't write the Sweeney off yet. He makes a place up on Rixon going down Rogerson's. It'll be lights and sirens blazing for the young man from Hazel Grove near Stockport. As we see Miles Hart with a move on Ryan Morgan through the right-hander at Luna Bend. There's Hughes, number 3, closely followed by Byrne. 33, there's Josh White. 6 in the picture just behind White, that's David McNichol. Then comes Gerry, 13. 9 is Horton. Sweeney puts a move on Horton. Goes side by side with Gerry. He's already made up a couple of those places he lost earlier on. Sweeney through the left-hander. Oh, it's off! Straight on onto the grass. Oh, cannot believe it! The championship leader is out! Oh, that is incredible! Sweeney's car just looked like it never turned in the corner. He was side by side. He was on the wrong side of the track for the left-hander. Let's have another look. The Pi Research replay should tell the story. They're coming out of turn 1, they're side by side, they're coming down to the left hand, there's a little hump in the track around about there. It just unsettles the back of Sweeney's car. Was that something to do with it? Certainly there was no contact from behind. Gerry wasn't close enough, there was half a car between them, and he just goes straight on onto the grass. And I think he's lost his chain as well. That's compounded the problem. So Sweeney's championship aspirations are gone. You have to feel sorry for him. But that is the nature of motorsport, I'm afraid. No drop scores in his championship. The 10-year-old from Hazel Grove near Stockport, so confident earlier in the week when I went to visit him at home, has lost it all in one corner. Sam?
Alan, I'm with Julie Pakenham-Walsh, Piers' mother. Julie, we have an addition to the helmet this month, don't we?
Yeah, thanks to Alan, he actually nicknamed Piers the Pac-Man and said he was doing a pack attack, so we decided to put a Pac-Man on the back of his helmet, which has caused quite a bit of amusement this race day.
Now, how long did it take you to do that last night?
Not very long. His dad's quite creative. It wasn't me, I have to say.
So you can't take all the credit for it?
No, not at all. No, it was all down to Dad, I'm afraid.
I'll tell you what, if you thought this championship was all over and Burns was well out of it, which he was earlier on, Ryan Burns that is turning all round. There he is. If he gets past those 2 carts in front of him, and Hughes is deposed by Joe Byrne, who's right behind him, Ryan Burns will win the championship, and Burns slides up the inside for another spot. He's just got 1 more cart to overtake on the track, and that is going to put him in prime position possibly for taking this championship. Is Henry Hunter going to get that place back? He doesn't. So Burns just 1 point behind, and Conor Llewellyn, as a result of Sweeney going off, Conor Llewellyn has inherited third place, and Burns, as we rejoin it, is past. James Appleton puts in the fastest lap, but Ryan Burns is past into fifth place. So Burns on 2.48, Hughes on 2.48, they're tied. Well, we knew it was going to be good, Ben, but what drama this is. Oh, Burn up the inside. He is, but Hughes has got him back. Hughes has got Byrne back, Joe Byrne that is, down the inside. So Hughes back into the lead. He is tied on points currently as things stand, but he's had 2 wins earlier in the season, which would give Hughes the title. But as they come down Rogerson's, has he lost it? He has! Oh, Hughes has lost it going through the left-hander on the last corner. It's Burns that's back into the championship lead. He's still there in what is fourth place. Alban takes the win, Appleton just second. It's a drag race on the line. Hughes and Byrne. Hughes! Oh, by 1,000th of a second on the line. Hughes has taken the win. He's beaten Byrne on the line. Here comes Ryan Burns, car number 2. Burns thinks he's won the championship. He's going to be disappointed when he sees the result sheet. What a finish! Where are my tablets?
I started pole. I didn't have that brilliant start, and I dropped down to second. But then I managed to get him, Josh White, straight back in a couple of corners. Then me and Appleton, we kept swapping over. And then on the last lap, I managed to get a bit of a lead, and so I didn't have to defend as much as usual.
All the excitement of the championship, it's easy to forget there was another race going on. Alex Alban took the win. Appleton had the fastest lap at 53.195. Luke Hughes' podium, enough to give him the championship. Tied on points, but by 1,000th of a second. Joe Byrne in fourth. Burns disappointed in fifth, but a great drive by Burns nevertheless. Conor Llewellyn finishes third in the championship, and they were followed in by Savage, Gary Hart and Jordan Horton.
Luke Hughes, 2006 Cadet Motors TV Ultimate Kart Challenge winner. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, I'm really delighted to have the championship win. I didn't really know that it was going to be that close coming to the line. And I'd just like to thank my dad, my sponsor Dave Parrish, who's here supporting me today from Global Tiles, my manager Dave Higgins, my engine tuner, and most of all the other competitors that have made it so much of a good race this year.
If you ever doubted, and why would you, that karting was the very best of four-wheel motorsport, the most exciting, doubt no more. Hughes takes the win by Ryan Burns by 1/1000th of a second after 9 rounds.
Next up, we have the 11 to 16-year-olds, and in this class we have the Michael Schumacher of the championship, who's the only competitor to have led the whole season through the whole championship, out of every single class. That's James Theodore, and he caught up with Alan earlier in the week in his studios.
Well, for me, the Sport and Motors TV for this championship makes it probably the most prestigious club-based championship there's ever been in the UK. So I'd have to say it'd be the biggest achievement in my racing so far if I could win.
James, you said in the interview we did back in March, just before the championship season started, that if you did win this championship it would be the biggest win of your career so far. 1 round to go, 25-point lead. You must be feeling pretty good with things as they stand.
Yeah, I'm overjoyed. 25-point lead going into the last round. It's a very good position to be in. Unless I get excluded in the last round, I've won the championship, so it's pretty safe, and I'm very happy with the situation as it stands.
And what do you put your success down to this season?
Well, in my interview prior to the season starting, I mentioned consistency being the key to having a good championship. That's certainly been the case. I've been on the podium 6 of the 8 rounds in the championship, 4th in 1, and I've had 1 bad round, but that hasn't dragged me down too much. Other people such as Joe Bullen have had DNFs and black flags, etc., and that's cost them a lot. My dad, obviously, he's worked very hard. He's been up early hours of the morning some days. I had to go to work as well, so I'm very happy, very thankful to him as well.
You've stuck with the Haas chassis for 3 years now. It's not necessarily one of the more popular brands, but you've had a lot of success with it. You're even fourth in the British Open, of course, this season, earlier in the season. And not just the success that you've had in Motors TV, you've had a success there, and you're still battling for the Manchester and Buxton Kart Club Championship, which takes place on the day after the Motors TV series. So a lot of success on the chassis. Not being tempted to look at something else, Mats?
I wouldn't be tempted to move unless there was a significant improvement, and I haven't found that. I found the Haas very good.
As far as sponsorship is concerned, of course, I know you're still looking for sponsorship. How important is that to you over the next couple of years?
Well, to move on, sponsorship is vital, really. We've achieved this success on our budget, but to move forward seriously, it's going to be pretty impossible without sponsorship. It's going to play a key role, a vital role in the next couple of years of my career.
And assuming that you get some sort of sponsorship going forward, what would be your ultimate ambition, perhaps, as in racing?
Well, every kid's ambition's Formula 1, but that's not feasible really at this moment. I'd love to do touring cars. It's a really interesting, exciting formula, and I'd really enjoy to do that.
Minimax for the 11 to 16s then. Jordan King, first time in the championship, going off pole. William Hunter and Ben Duncalf behind, going off 2 and 3. They've been in the cadets already this season. Pippa Coleman for Silkeleen off P4. Chris Clayton's turned invisible since we last saw him. He's on 5. Matt Parry on 6. Luke Russell 7. Then comes Stephen Batho for Bryden Holmes. Jordan Holmes, a winner 2 months ago. Tom Durbridge goes off P10. Jamie Fegan comes next. Then Roy Gill for Asphalt Works going off P12. Matt Isherwood for Plumbase off 13. Scary Ross comes next. He's on 14. Then Joe Charlton off 15. Matt Gibson 16. Off 17 for Advanced Composites is Josephine Ferrada. Then Sinead Gress. Roy Anderson third in the championship, Joe Bullen second in the championship, and as we have already seen, James Theodore, the championship leader. The Minimax class sponsored by Dartford Karting for ages 11 to 16. They're off and running. Will they all get through turn 1 safely? They will not. Kart 34 has been turned around, and that is the poleman, his first appearance in the championship. A big old Motors TV cuddly welcome for Jordan King, or not, as the case may be. They're through Dunlop Hairpin. Theodore, the championship leader's made up a few. We've got Duncalf off in Dunlop Hairpin, along with Stephen Batho. There's Batho 17, Duncalf is 32. They've obviously had some sort of tangle. Talking of tangles, before this race even got underway, I'm going to show you some footage of earlier on. Before the race started, here's Roy Anderson, third in the championship, on the rolling lap. Look at this, the kart stopped, and here comes Dancing Roy. Oh no, my championship's over. Oh, I can't believe it. No, oh, please. What's going on? Dad, oh, we've got to go in. He's got to go in. Jumps back in, and they get him going again. All that dancing around for nothing. The race was red flagged anyway, and we had to restart. And Ben's got Ian Blair, the clerk of the course, down on the middle of the track, and he's going to explain what happened.